Good morning, my dear students. I hope you are doing well. So, here I have brought part 3, chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life, cell, class 9, science. I hope you will enjoy. Let's begin. In our previous presentations, we have talked about cell membrane, cell wall, nucleus. Now, further, we will discuss about the more cell organelles and cell components. So, let's talk about cytoplasm. Now, cytoplasm, you can see it is fluidy kind of structure or liquid or semi-solid kind of structure which surrounds the nucleus. It is the fluid contained inside the plasma membrane or cell membrane. It contains all specialized cell organs, cell organelles. So you can say that rest of the cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, they all are lying or floating within the cytoplasm. Now let's talk about the other cell organelles which are equally playing important role in functioning of the cell. So they are endoplasmic reticulum, which is also called ER, Golgi apparatus or Golgi body, lysosomes, mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles. Let's talk about them in more details. Now first, endoplasmic reticulum. The short form of it is ER. Now ER is a large network of membrane bound tubes and the sheets. You can see the ER in the image. They extend throughout the cytoplasm. That means they are extended towards the cytoplasm. They are of majorly two types: rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is called RER, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is also called SER. They serve as channel for the transport of materials between various regions of cytoplasm or between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So they act as the carrier for transporting materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus or within the cytoplasm. Functions as the cytoplasmic framework, providing a surface for biochemical activities. So in examination, they can ask, write a note and the function of endoplasmic reticulum or ER and mention its types. Golgi apparatus. So first it was discovered by Camillo Golgi. So after his name it is termed as Golgi apparatus. It consists of system of membrane bound vesicles arranged in the parallel to each other in stacks called cisterns. So they are just like a coin like structures which lie one on the another, just like you place a coin of 1 rupee or 5 rupee on one on the another and you make a bundles of the coin. So that way the similar arrangement has Golgi apparatus. The material synthesized near ER is packed and dispatched to various targets inside and outside the cell. The function includes the storage, modification and packaging of the product in the vesicles. So the major function of Golgi apparatus is storage of materials, modification and packaging other products which are within the vesicle and near endoplasmic reticulum. It involved in the formation of lysosome. Now lysosome is also called the suicidal bag, which is majorly functioning for eating all non-important substance lying inside the cell. So, for the formation of lysosome, Golgi apparatus is also helpful and involved. About the lysosome, it is also known as suicidal bag. You can see in the figure, lysosome will eat all organelles or unnecessary materials present inside the cell if it fails in its function. So, it is not only very useful, at the same time it is dangerous for the cell. So, sometimes during the malfunctioning, it may eat entire cell. So, waste disposal system of the cell is lysosome. It keeps cell clean by digesting any foreign material which are not important for the cell, as well as worn out cell organelles. So, old cell organelles or old cell material is been eaten up by the lysosome. It contains powerful digestive enzymes which are capable of breaking down all organic material. When the cell gets damaged, lysosome may break open and the enzyme which are present inside digest their own cell, thus known as suicidal bag of the cell. So, it has important as well as sometimes it has disadvantage over the cell. Let's talk about the most important cell organelle, which is called the mitochondria. It is also known as powerhouse for the cell, as it stores the ATP, which is also known as currency of the cell. You can see in the figure that how does mitochondria look like. It has cristae and the matrix as the surface. It also has inner and the outer membrane. Now, mitochondria, which is known as powerhouse of the cell, the energy required for various chemical activity is released by the mitochondria in the form of currency of cell, which is called ATP molecules, adenosine triphosphate, which is the full form of ATP. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. Mitochondria have two membrane coverings, inner and outer membranes. Outer membrane is very porous, means it has pores within it. Inner membrane is deeply folded, as you can see in the figures. Mitochondria are able to make their own protein as they have their own DNAs and ribosomes. So, with the structure as well as with the function, mitochondria is quite unique by its nature. So, remember, it has all the ATP stored inside the mitochondria, which will provide it ATP currency during the cell functioning. Let's talk about the plastids. Now, these plastids are present generally in the plant cell. They are green in color. They also contain chloroplast, which function for photosynthesis. You have already known about the photosynthesis in your previous classes. So, they are of two types, chromoplast, which are colored, and leucoplast, which are colorless. So, plastids contain green pigment known as chlorophyll, which is the most important factor during photosynthesis, which are also called chloroplast. Leucoplast store material such as starch, oil and protein granules. Plastid contains membrane layers embedded in the materials called the stoma. So, stoma and grana. So, all the materials which are embedded inside the structure is known as stoma. Plastid has a similar structure like mitochondria, have their own DNA and ribosomes, so they can generate or create their own proteins. So, major function of the plastid is to perform photosynthesis with the help of chloroplast and chlorophyll present in it, and so that plastids are only found in the plant cells. Let's talk about the vacuoles. You can see the vacuoles which are present in the animal cell here. Generally, vacuoles are absent or very small in the animal cell, but they are largely occupied within the plant cell. Major function of vacuole is to store moisture or the water wherever it is available. So, they are the sporadic for the solid or liquid contains. Small side vacuoles are present in the animals, but they are large in the plant cells. In plant cell, vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. That means they will maintain the structure of the plant cell while providing rigidity to the cell. Vacuoles store amino acids, which are the basic units of the proteins, as well as sugars and various organic acids and some proteins. In amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items that amoeba has consumed. In class 7, you have studied about how food vacuole is formed within the amoeba through the pseudopodia. So that food vacuole will have all the food enzymes which will digest that food and absorb all the nutrients and remove undigested part. So vacuole in short act as the storage sac. Vacuoles play an important role in expelling, that means removing excess water and some waste from the cell. So majorly vacuole work for providing turgidity and rigidity to the plant cell. It stores certain amino acids and sugars, and in amoeba, vacuole mainly work as the food vacuole for the digestion process, and also it expels excess water and the waste from the cell. So here we talk about the rest of the cell organelles which are important in the functioning of the cell plants. Now let's talk about one more important difference, that is animal cell and the plant cell. The PDF which I have provided along with this video have the major difference included of plant and animal cell. Kindly go through them well. It is the important question as per the exam point of view. Now animal cells are generally small in size, whereas plant cells are usually larger than the animal cells. Animal cell wall is absent because every animal grows differently in size and shape, whereas plant cell wall is present because of the protection and provide unique size and special shape to that plant. So tulsi cell or tulsi plant look similar everywhere, but you and me or different animals look differently because of their different types of growth, because they don't have cell wall, but here plants do have cell wall. Now, except protozoans, Euglena, no animal cell possess plastids. So only the animal cells like protozoas like Euglena have plastids, but no other animal cell has green color plastids. But plant cell do have plastids which are having chloroplast and leucoplast, and so they carry out the function of photosynthesis. Also, animal cells, their vacuoles are much smaller in the size, but in the plant cells, vacuoles are more in numbers as well as bigger in the size or the larger in the size. So these are the basic difference between the animal cells and the plant cells. I hope you have understood it well. So thank you. Here I'll add all three major parts of the chapter 5, fundamental units of life cell. Kindly go through all three parts thoroughly in detail. Also, go through the PDF provided along with this video for the textual exercise. Hope you have understood and enjoyed. Bye. Thank you.